So today I kind of want to talk about becoming an idea architect. I was talking to some of the homies lately about branding, and there's this idea where we all want to become a brand. We all want to stand for something. But before you can even become a brand, you have to be able to, you have to earn that almost. You have to have buy-in. People aren't just going to come running towards your brand. But first, apologies for not introducing myself. My name's PHONZZ. That's if you're new here. And if you could, like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Y'all really been running it up on the subscription, so I really appreciate it. We all love Nike. We buy Nike shoes. We buy into the Nike brand, but we don't do it because they sold to us, and we don't do it because we love the logo, but rather we relate to their philosophy. Maybe these might be a couple steps to kind of think about in the world of building the architecture behind a brand. So back to the first kind of thing that I was talking about. When it comes to a logo, right? We're looking at the Nike logo. We've all already bought into it. After years and years of them advertising on a mass level, we've bought into the Nike logo. We bought into what it stands for. They have so many different segments as far as who kind of like resonates with it, whether it's Nike ACG, whether it's, I think it's a Nokta or not, I can't pronounce it. I'm gonna put it on the screen so y'all can see it, but there's a ton even after, like the main big kind of juggernaut within that kind of world of Nike. They've just done so much work already for all of us to buy into the Nike brand. As artists, as people that are making things and trying to productize our ideas, you really have to think, have I done the work to get people to buy into that? There's a really dope artist out of New York that I'm a big fan of. His name's Shirt. He actually designed that wood board right there that's kind of painted on. I've had it for a couple years now, but he did this t-shirt back in like 2017. It had the Nike and Adidas logo on it. It took off. It was on Hasnabadi, Hypebeast, back when those were like really popular blogs to go to kind of stay up on things before Instagram had like the algorithm that it has now. And he really kind of blew up off of this idea of putting the Nike and the Adidas logos side by side, because they've been companies that would never ever interact with each other, even though they definitely have the same kind of fan base and segmentation. Obviously, he wasn't thinking about it on that level, but that's what happened. People really kind of bought into it, and it did really well, and the rest is history. I bring this up because he created a brand through the philosophy of streetwear and the 3% rule, and this idea of very well-established brands connected an idea and did something that hadn't been seen before. That's also kind of a good takeaway from this is, no matter what, you have to establish some type of trust with the audience before you can ever sell anything, and that really proves it. If he would have just put his own logo on it that none of us have seen before, there's no buy-in. So you gotta have buy-in. This is a major key. I think the next thing is you gotta think about what makes your idea unique. There's this really famous restaurant down in Houston. I think it's in Houston, but it's somewhere in Texas if it's not in Houston. And it's this Ethiopian restaurant that does barbecue. So they take all of the Ethiopian cuisine and they smoke it. So they're doing smoked like boiled eggs, which is like an important kind of component of like the injera kind of like situation. And hopefully I got that right. Hopefully I got that dish right. But they do like a lot of different smoked elements, but it's all Ethiopian food. And that really creates this unique kind of world that people buy into, because it's like, if you're in the mood for barbecue, you're thinking, oh, like I could get regular barbecue, but if I'm gonna get barbecue this one time, I can go to this Ethiopian spot that my friends might not be up on, but also because it's so different, I just wanna try it. And to obviously, I'm really trying to use outside examples that aren't so subjective and whatnot, because you might not be familiar with my brand yet, but just so you can get kind of accustomed. My brand is all about this idea of merging rap and design and contemporary art, and kind of merging it and injecting these ideas and philosophies that have never been seen within the hip hop world, because the hip hop world is, one, very young, very new, also is very copy and paste. We all kind of grew up knowing that music released on Tuesday. We all grew up knowing that you would drop a single, then you drop a couple music videos, then you drop the album, and then you get ready for the award circuit, whatever that looks like for you. And it was kind of just a boom, like a 1, 2, 3 step process. And that's not really the case anymore in the internet era. And I think even after that, so you get the awards circuit, and then you're touring. You do a world tour, you do a North America tour, and then you do the world tour. And that's a very copy and paste way to look at becoming, you know, a hip hop artist or a musician at all, for that matter. For example, I'm looking at becoming an artist a little differently. I'm very design forward. I'm very contemporary art forward, as you can see, and I'm really trying to reimagine what it looks like to be a hip hop artist that might not do world tours, that might not do a music video as often, that might not do any of the traditional things. Because what's traditional in this world? You know, we gotta lean into the weirdness, lean into our brand, and lean into the uniqueness. I hope this video helps y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you find this helpful. But till next week, peace. Appreciate y'all.